Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Small Biz Highlight. My name is Tiffany Roman, and I am your host. We are on episode 39. This has been a crazy whirlwind. I can't believe I'm at 39 episodes already. But thank you to all of you who are constantly checking in and joining us live every so often. If you do so today, please feel free to like, share, do watch party, whatever tickles your fancy. Just help us spread the word about this amazing business that I'm about to introduce to you shortly. Um, Before we get started, just a couple announcements. One, I am hosting a watch party as we speak. I'm replaying my event from this past Saturday, the live shopping event that I hosted for Small Business Saturday. Technology wasn't my best friend throughout the whole event, but I feel like as a whole, it was a really successful event. It was really great getting to know all those businesses, and today's just another day of exposure for them. So if you have some time, stop by Small Biz Highlight virtual live shopping event and check it out. It's really great. I'll put the link in the comments just in case you want to stop by. And beyond that, I did start making some groups up and trying to organize the page and make it more official. So if you start getting invites from me, it really is for me. I promise. It's not a spammer trying to get you to do something crazy. It's me, guys. Just trying to be a little more professional about this and get it going. So check it, watch out for those messages, okay? But beyond that, I'm so excited about this interview today. I am so excited to introduce you to Amy McVeagh Beatty or Beatty?
Beatty.
Beatty. Darn it. One of these days, I'm telling you, one of these days I'm going to learn to ask before I go live. I somehow always forget until I'm about to say the name. Like, shoot, I should have asked. I got to like put a sticky note or something nearby the setup here so that I remember to ask. But I'm so excited that you took the time out of your day to be here with me. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, so I always start my episodes with a very simple question. It sometimes trips people up, but I love the variety of answers that I get with it. Who are you? Where are you from? Where are you located? What do you like to do? Stuff that'll help people learn who they're doing business with, not just what you can do for them.
Okay, so I am Amy. I am not originally from the Mechanicsburg area, but this is what I consider home. Our business is located in Camp Hill. We are a woman-owned business, sole proprietor, woman-owned business, which is exciting. My passion that I absolutely love, and people just kind of look at me sideways sometimes, baseball is my passion. I am a total baseball mom,
I love that.
from little league to professional baseball. So you come in, you want baseball uniforms designed, I am your girl. I all about baseball.
Awesome. That is really cool. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't had anybody, I don't think, admit a certain sport fanatic kind of thing. So that is cool. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Okay. So, all right. So Mechanicsburg is home, but your business is located in Camp Hill, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And it's called INK2THREAD. Tell us a little bit about what all INK2THREAD is about.
So INK2THREAD is a business to business embroidery, screen print, and promotional items company. And we like to do business face to face. We like to know our customers. We like to know what they want, how they want things done. So if they're a repeat customer, they can just call and say, hey, this is what I need. Do it like you did it before. And we know exactly what they want.
Oh, wow. So what kind of services do you guys provide there? Like, I know it's probably self-explanatory, but specifically, what kind of things can you do?
So we can do, as far as embroidery, we can do everything from jackets and hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, high visibility clothing. We can do company gifts. We can also do screen printing. So again, we can do your t-shirts, your hoodies, your sweatshirts, your jackets, anything you need for your business, and promotional items. Everything from basically the tagline is, if you can think it, we can ink it. So
I like that.
anything you, just about anything you want to put your logo on, we can probably do it.
That's a good tagline. I like that. That's
Yep.
nifty. And how long have you been in business?
So the owner is Betsy Henkel, and she's actually owned the business for about 12 years. And she started with a single head embroidery machine in her living room, and we've expanded from there. I've been here about 6.5 years.
Oh, wow. That is really cool. I don't know. I graduated high school from Mechanicsburg, but I don't think I've ever heard of INK2THREAD. So this is pretty exciting. I love learning new businesses that I didn't know about before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. All right. So, all right. Embroidery and all that good stuff absolutely takes time. I'm sure it depends on the design, colors, what have you. What is a typical time frame that you would need in advance for somebody to place an order with you?
So our average turnaround time for embroidery is about 7 to 10 business days. So that's actual business days. That doesn't count weekends, doesn't count holidays. And that's from you approving your proof that we sew out for you so you can actually see it. We either take a picture or you can come in and take a look at it. So once you approve that and we have all the apparel that we're going to be working with, then it's 7 to 10 business days. Screen print sometimes takes a tad bit longer, but we try and also stick with that 7 to 10 business days.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad. Okay. So turnaround 7 to 10 business days. Honestly, that doesn't sound that bad at all. Not too long of a wait. But what kind of information are you looking for from the client when they're placing an order? What kind of things do you need from them?
So what really helps us is if they already have a logo. We have a lot of people that will come in and say, well, I have this idea. Well, it's really hard for me to work with an idea. Once you have your logo solidified, then you bring us your logo. Sometimes we have to manipulate it. We have to turn it into a stitch file if we're going to embroider it. We have to turn it into usable artwork if we're going to screen print it or use it on promotional items. But we need their logo. Sometimes we need them to simplify their logo. Sometimes details don't turn out in embroidery or screen print the way you think they're going to. We also
Okay.
need to know, I like when customers come in and we'll pick their colors. We'll actually walk them back into the embroidery room and or use our paint chips and show them what colors are available to them, because not every computer screen does colors the same. Not every printer prints colors the same. So you may send me a logo and I print it out and it's a blue, but in your logo it's actually purple. So, provide
Oh.
us with as much information when you're having that logo created as absolutely possible.
Oh, okay, that's really good information. Now,
Mhm.
I know you offer both the embroidery and the screen print. Are there different types of products that work better for each, or can all of them be used on all types of products?
No, there's sometimes where embroidery will work better than screen print and vice versa. It all depends on what the customer's looking for and what their logo looks like. But Betsy and I have been doing this long enough that we can pretty much say that's not going to work in embroidery. Let's maybe screen print it or vice versa. You only screen print minimums are typically 24 pieces. Maybe you only want 5 or 6. Okay, maybe we can embroider it and it's still going to be cost effective and we can do your 5 or 6.
Oh, okay.
So yes, not everything translates into everything, but that's why we like to have conversations with our customers to direct them towards what's going to work best for their logo.
Okay. And so you mentioned like gifts for um like employees and whatnot. Have you ever gotten orders for like family events where people get like those shirts like where like for family reunions or the family trips or anything like that?
We have done a couple of family events. If your event is big enough, and again, if it's something we're going to screen print and the minimums meet our numbers, then yeah, absolutely, we can do that.
What are your minimums for that kind of order?
So for screen print, minimum is 24.
Hmm.
Screen print is pretty, it's to be cost effective. You need to do 24 to make the screens, make the artwork, and make the screens and the ink and all that. Embroidery, there's no minimum. However, we do have to charge for transferring your artwork into stitches. So there's a setup fee for that. It's a one-time setup fee.
Okay. All right. And so how much does a typical order for embroidery cost versus screen print?
It depends on how extensive the logo is, how big it is, how many colors it is. Um, it can vary from, a couple dollars to maybe $5 or $6, $7, $10. It depends.
Okay. And I know COVID has been a huge wrench in everybody's situation and whatnot. How did it affect you guys? You had to shut down completely, right?
We had to shut down completely for about 3 weeks. But we do uniforms and supplies for a couple medical, couple
Oh,
nursing
okay.
homes and rehab facilities and things like that. So we found out that we can be part of the what they consider the medical supply chain. So we were able to open back up and do a minimal amount. What
Oh,
has
okay,
hit
that's
us
great.
is the trickle down effect with the sports teams, people not playing, not being able to play sports and do their summer activities, travel baseball, travel softball, soccer, things like that. It's all been the trickle down. When they tell the high school football teams that you can't play, why are parents going to pay for a sweatshirt when they can't go sit in the stands?
Yes.
So it's yeah, so we've been hit really hard.
So now that you've been open for a while now, helping out those businesses and whatnot, what kind of precautions are you guys taking for any clients that may come in to see you guys at the store?
So we will wear a mask when customers come in. We are asking our customers to call ahead and make an appointment. Our shop is not that big, so social distancing with customers can be difficult. We prefer not to have more than one customer in the shop at a time. Again, we ask they wear masks. We do sanitize. We've got hand sanitizer up front. We clean our counters. We clean our doorknobs and our everything as frequently as we can.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
but it's
great.
the pickup, the call for an appointment for pickup or delivery, or even just to stop in and talk to us, just to make sure that we're going to be here. Because honestly, if we're during a slow time, if we don't have a whole lot of work, we're not here.
Mm,
We're not
okay.
going to sit here with the electric and all that if there's no work to do.
Oh,
So
absolutely. That makes sense.
yeah,
So
so
what are your typical hours for the business?
our typical hours right now are Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4:30. We're closed on Fridays, but again, those hours vary depending on how much work we have. Once hopefully things return to normal, then our normal business hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30.
Okay, that's great. Well, I'm so glad that despite COVID, there was still that ability for you guys to, help out the healthcare workers and whatnot, but still able to keep you guys somewhat afloat despite all
Yeah,
this craziness.
a little bit. We've been doing the best we can, kind of limping along.
Okay, well, if you're just joining us, I've been talking with Amy. She is from INK2THREAD, a business located in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. Um, you know, doing her part for the struggle through COVID, helping out the medical professionals with their uniforms and whatnot. Anybody who ordered from her, you know, um, thankfully that trickled into being a way for her to stay open for at least a little while here, and keep afloat and whatnot. If you have any events coming up, if you have any business or stuff going on, trips that you're going on with family, and you have enough people for their minimums and whatnot, get embroidery done. I mean, the holidays of all types are starting to come up little by little here in the next couple weeks. If you want to look into getting some gifts and whatnot, I'm sure she can help you come up with a ton of great ideas that would be affordable and make, a little bit of a different kind of splash this year. Change things up a little bit and have something be, not so extravagant, like something just so simple, but so, touching or, sentimental of sorts, that I love that about what you guys do with your business as far as, whether it be the embroidery or the other one, you guys can really just take an idea and make it come alive. I love that about this.
Yep, absolutely.
What do you think is have you ever had a design that like kind of just you couldn't help it but fall in love with it that somebody had you do?
Um, The ones that I, not necessarily, because we do a lot of, business to business, so we're doing a lot of logos. I like when we get to be creative and we get to take a design, maybe it's one that we want to wear personally. I
Okay.
What I like is even with the business logos, I like being able to create the look that the customer wants. Um, there are some logos that are prettier than others, and you're like, oh, hey, I like that, or I like this color, or whatever. And I can't remember one that I absolutely fell in love with. There's a lot that I look at and I'm like, well,
I hear you. There's got to be a bunch of those that you're just like, well, that's what they wanted. I'm not going to argue with them, right?
yep, that's what they want, and if that's what they want, I'm more than happy to do it.
Yep, absolutely. Oh my goodness. That's definitely where it falls into where that slogan, the customer is always right. You just kind of got to remind yourself that, huh?
Yep, absolutely. What I fall in love with is the creativity behind creating that look for them. Picking the thread colors, making sure they're the thread colors they want, making sure that it's where they want it on the garment or on the bag or on the chair or whatever they want it, where they want it.
How did you get started in this business? Were you always involved with like sewing or embroidery or something to that effect?
No, not exactly. So I started working for my parents who owned a small retail store, and they sold vacuum cleaners and sewing machines. And I couldn't sew a stitch, couldn't embroider a stitch. When they brought in the sewing and embroidery, I said, you know what, I'll stick to the vacuums. That's what I know. And little by little, I started taking an interest in the sewing and the embroidery. I had one very dear friend who took me under her wing and taught me how to sew. I basically taught her how to embroider. And then one of the employees at my parents' store, who was basically the sewing and embroidery manager,
Okay.
became ill, and I had to take over her role and step into her role rather quickly. So I basically got thrown into the deep end and figured out I can swim. I know how to do this. I found Betsy actually through an ad on Craigslist. I was
Oh,
scrolling
wow.
through Craigslist one night looking for a dresser for my son, and an ad popped up for a commercial embroiderer. Well, I had never done embroidery commercially, but I had been doing it on the home, the residential side.
Mhm.
Between Betsy and I, we have over 30 years experience in embroidery. So I
Wow.
figured I could take my residential embroidery experience and probably put it on the commercial side. So I answered the ad at like 10 o'clock at night, not knowing who it was. And when she called me back the next day, she left a message, and I called her back. She said, this is Betsy from INK2THREAD. I'm returning your phone call and your email last night about the job. And I said, Betsy, we already know each other. She said, excuse me? She bought thread from my family's business.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
So we already knew each other. So I started working here part-time. My oldest son was in college at the time, so I was helping to supplement our income to help him with expenses. So that's how I started working here.
Oh my goodness, that's such a cool story.
Uh-huh.
That's like the epitome of like old school small businesses where like everybody knew each other and then somehow it just ended up that you all ended up working with each other. That is so cool. I love
Yep.
that.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it was a pretty
Oh,
funny
wow.
conversation.
I could already imagine her. I'm sorry, what? We already know. Are
Yep.
you okay?
Yep. When I told her who I was, she's like, "Oh my gosh."
Because you hear all those scary stories about Craigslist and whatever. To get a phone to call somebody and they say, "Hey, I already know you." Okay, stalker. What do you mean?
I know, right? She said the funny part was she had the ad in Penn Live for a couple weeks. It had been on Craigslist for a number of weeks, and it was like the third page back. I'm not even sure how I found it. She said it'd been out there for a long time. So we
It was
joked that
meant to be.
we joked that I already came housebroken because I already knew how to embroider. I just had to put it into the production mode. Instead of doing, one cute little tea towel, I'm now doing 100 towels, or I'm doing 100 shirts. So
Wow.
yeah, but
That's
I
so
transitioned pretty quick.
cool. I love that story. That's a really great story. I'm glad I asked that question. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, if you are all watching, thank you for stopping by again. I really appreciate you taking the time to check us out. Show some love for Amy, like, share, leave us a heart, what have you. if you know anybody who's a small business owner, or anybody who's into planning events, any kind of situation where they may need to order some shirts, some uniforms, something embroidered, items embroidered, or screen printing, right? Is that what the other
Correct.
one was called? Okay.
Yes.
For some reason I could not remember. You know, no matter what you're into, what you prefer, cleaning can definitely help you get on the right track, help you figure out what would be the best items to do with what kind of style, and get you going to looking fabulous for whatever your next event is or situation that you need these items for. With everybody being away from people for so long, working from home and whatnot, surprise your employees with like a little gift with your logo on it or something, just so that they know you're thinking about them. Anything is possible, and I'm sure Amy can help you come up with a million other ideas. So I have your information, contact information, your address, what have you, in the comments so people can find you. And they can click on the links for like your Facebook page and whatnot to get you linked up there. So if there is anything else I can do for you, I really appreciate you taking the time to be here today. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. If I can just add one
Yeah.
last thing. The other thing that I really like to, I don't want to say harp on, but especially with everybody being home now, businesses that go into people's homes should have some sort of shirt, uniform, something to identify them as belonging to that company. There's nothing worse than, you're expecting somebody, you see an unmarked white panel van creeping around your neighborhood. Does that person actually belong? Is that the person from the company that I called? So that's one thing that I caution people. Make sure that, if you're a business that's sending employees into people's homes for service, any kind of service, plumbers, electricians, HVAC, computer repair people. If you're going to have people in your home, make sure they're identifiable. It's so easy to fake a badge. You can put a picture on a badge and put it on a lanyard. It's really hard to fake a shirt.
I love that. That's a really great, tidbit there, because I don't think that's something, because all this extra working from home situations wasn't something that was so regular before COVID. That's definitely something that might have fallen through the cracks as far as planning ahead and, making sure their employees were doing everything they could to be safe and make sure their clients are safe and whatnot. So yes, thank you for that. That was a great advice.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you again, Amy. I really did have a really great time. Thank you for your time. I'm sure you guys are getting ready to do whatever kind of projects you've got going on for today, but I do really appreciate your time being here.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.